Hey there, Matthew Palumbo from AudioControl, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the difference between the original AudioControl Epicenter and the new EPICENTER Pro. So let's dive right in. Well, first off, what is an epicenter and what does it do? The epicenter has been around for a long time. It's one of AudioControl's most legendary products, but a lot of folks don't fully understand what it actually does. Even some of you out there that are using one currently in your system. You know it makes your system sound better and have more bass, but what is this thing actually doing? What an epicenter does is analyzes the signal as it passes through the device and takes a look at what the lowest bass currently in the signal is. Then it adds bass one octave below, looking at the fundamentals of the music. So what you end up with is if you have a song that doesn't have a lot of low bass now, when you pass it through the epicenter and adjust the handy ACR knob that's up at the dash, now you've got great low bass that you can feel in the seat of your pants and shakes the whole vehicle for that low, thunderous bass that we all crave. So let's get into the finer details of what separates the original EPICENTER Concert Series from the new EPICENTER Pro. So when you take a look at these two pieces side by side, you'll notice they're both physically about the same size, but the EPICENTER Pro has a lot more going on its top panel. Now that's because although both of these products have the same epicenter effect built in, the EPICENTER Pro now has all the features, settings, and switches exposed right on the top panel. On the original Concert Series epicenter, you used to have to take off the 4 screws in the top panel here, remove this top cover to access all of the switches and settings. With the EPICENTER Pro, there's no longer a need to disassemble the unit at all. Everything is conveniently located right here on the top panel. With the top cover panel removed, we can see that on the EPICENTER Concert Series, there's lots of different little settings and jumpers inside. Like I mentioned, the EPICENTER Pro now has all of those set up as external switches, making them way more convenient to adjust. So let's take a look at each individual setting and how they compare from unit to unit. Both units have the wide and sweep knobs in approximately the same place, right here on the top of the unit. They both have the same flickering LED panel that shows when the epicenter effect is applied. But that's about it as far as similarities go. Because the EPICENTER Pro has that built-in line driver, now you've got an input gain adjustment with a maximized indicator, an output level adjustment with a maximized indicator, as well as your input ground, ground isolation, PFM filter, and your maximum output voltage switch. So let's take a look at each of those and how they compare from one unit to the other. Your input ground on the EPICENTER Pro is right here on top with this simple switch to flip it from balanced to unbalanced. On the original EPICENTER Concert Series, that's done with these independent little jumpers, which you would slide the little black sleeve off and then move it down a setting and slide it back on. It's a lot easier, obviously, on the EPICENTER Pro. Same thing when we take a look at the ground isolation switch. Ground isolation here shows ground ISO and 200 ohms. Over on the original EPICENTER Concert Series, you've got a jumper for those same settings with 200 ohms ISO and ground. Same setup, you're using this little black sleeve, sliding it off and putting it onto the appropriate pegs to make the connection that you'd like. The next setting on the top panel of the EPICENTER Pro is PFM. Now PFM stands for Performance Frequency Match or Perfect Frequency Match, but really this is a subsonic filter. For those of you using your subwoofer in a vented or ported enclosure, this is especially important, and generally speaking, we recommend you leave it turned on, because this really prevents you from overdriving your subwoofer at ultra low frequencies and, generally speaking, ending up with a blown subwoofer, which none of us want. Now, if you're a big dog and you've got a big system with lots of power and you can handle ultra low frequencies, then hey, maybe it's okay for you to turn off that PFM switch. But for general use, we don't recommend it. Now on the EPICENTER Pro, you have a simple switch that you can flip. We either have on, which is set at 24 Hertz, or off. Simple as that. On the original EPICENTER Concert Series, this was achieved with a chip. This little PFM chip right here was originally set at 33 Hertz. Now, way back when, you could order different chips with different frequencies or potentially even make your own, which you can still do today. But it was a little bit of a tedious task. You have to be handy with a soldering iron, and you could never completely bypass that PFM circuit. Now, the last setting that you're going to find on top of the EPICENTER Pro is the maximum output voltage switch located here at the end. You'll notice there's a 5 volt, 7.5, and 10 volt setting. Now, this is not, despite what most people would think, a limiter. This is not limiting how much voltage comes out of the epicenter. What this does is controls the maximized LED, which is right here next to your output level. This is used to aid in setting up your gain structure in your system. So, if you take a look at the input section of your amplifier and notice that it handles a maximum of, say, 8 volts, we would want to set this setting to 7.5. Now what this is going to do is when we set up our output level and we adjust this dial up, as we approach 7.5 volts of output, our LED that says max is going to start to flicker or flash. This helps you to make sure that you're not overdriving the input of your amplifier, creating unnecessary distortion, or possibly even causing damage to your system. Another distinct difference between the EPICENTER Pro and the Concert Series is the in-dash control, the ACR remote. Now, the original Concert Series comes with the ACR-1. The ACR-1 is a pretty simple knob. It just turns from left to right and gives you an adjustment over how much epicenter effect you are applying. Now, this is not an overall volume level so much as it is how much epicenter effect do I want applied to my system. The EPICENTER Pro comes with the ACR-4. Now, this is a really cool knob. This is what we call a dual concentric controller, and it's actually a dual function knob. What you have is you have your epicenter effect on this outer ring, and you have your overall system level or sub-level on this inner knob. So now there's no need to put in a knob for your amplifier and an epicenter control knob. You can accomplish it all with the ACR-4. So in summary, both the EPICENTER Pro and the EPICENTER Concert Series could be a great addition to your sound system. Both of them can bring great low bass to just about any source material or song you're listening to, and both of them were designed to be used with an aftermarket source unit. So remember, these do need to be fed signal from your aftermarket radio, source unit, or digital signal processor, but there are some key differences. So just to highlight a few of those most important ones, remember, the EPICENTER Pro has all exposed switches and dials and controls right on top. There's no need to take off the top cover anymore. And it does include that ACR-4 remote level control with both epicenter effect and overall sub-level right on one knob. The EPICENTER Concert Series is the classic. This one has the original ACR-1, so it's only epicenter effect on that knob. And to access any of the controls or settings, you will need to remove the top cover panel. One last thing is that the EPICENTER Pro does have that built-in line driver. So if your aftermarket source unit has a somewhat weak output, say maybe less than 2 volts, the EPICENTER Pro will be able to line drive up that signal and give you a stronger signal to work with and feed into your aftermarket amplifiers. I'm Matthew Palumbo from AudioControl. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video, and we'll see you on the next one.